Hello everyone and welcome to Knife Review 3000. Today we've got the Kershaw Shuffle DIY. You might be familiar with the Shuffle. It's that guy there. It's been around a long time. And there's a few different variants of it. There's the Shuffle 2 now. But this one's the DIY. So what you get is for 23 bucks. You've got a 2.4 inch blade, real belly heavy there. 8CR13 MOV blade, liner lock. You can see there. You've got some liners, steel liners in there with nylon handles. One position pocket clip. Because of all the stuff going on here, you're going to be right side tip down pocket clip there, and then you got space for a couple of 1/4 inch bits. So it comes with just a flat head and a Phillips. Looks like number 2 Phillips head there. And then, but you can put, if your job or hobby, you need a Torx or something like that, you can just take these out, replace it with whatever you want. And there's a pretty decent magnet in there to hold on to these, which I always appreciate. You can do the old screw test here. You can wrench on it a little bit and then it doesn't come out. So even if I torque it and then put it at an angle a little bit and try to pull it out, it stays in there, which is real nice. Trying to tighten something down in an engine or somewhere not super accessible, it's nice that the bit doesn't come out and either stick in the screw or fall into the car or something. So that's the retention on there is really nice. So you've got the 2 slots for the bits. You've got your bottle opener there, lanyard loop, dual thumb studs. The pivot is a little stiff, but not too bad. You're not gonna. At least I can't flick it open, but it's being a fairly small knife. It's pretty easy to open up, fairly comfortable, fills up the hand well. There's might be a little hot spot because of this big pocket clip, kind of on the palm there, but it's not really the type of thing you're going to be using a ton of, but I suppose if you had gloves or something you can use it for a good while. So yeah, the liner lock is fairly easy to get to. I think there's something they've changed a little bit compared to this one. This one I got years ago and was not a big fan of. I could never get the pivot to be, it was either too stiff or too loose, and then I could never get to the liner lock because it was basically the same as the scales on there. So I took some of the liner lock or some of the scale off, just kind of ground it off so I could reach the liner. It's still really stiff, both the lock and the pivot, so it's not, it's just kind of wrestles with you. So not a big fan of that one. But this one, they've definitely a different story. The much easier to open and close. You can get to the liner lock a lot easier. These seem to stay in fairly well. In the time that I've been carrying it, these haven't budged at all. So, if it's in your pocket, these are going to be up against your leg. And it might be pretty tough to get those to fall out, but I suppose anything's possible. But so yeah, it's a nice little knife if you don't want a full multi-tool but still want to have access to some bits and an old driver. This might work out for you. And you got the bottle opener thrown in there too. So yeah, for 23 bucks, you know, it could tick a lot of people's boxes. Comes in about 3.5 ounces, so it's a little heavier than a normal 2.5 inch bladed knife, but of course you've got the bits and the extra metal here for the driver, that kind of thing. So still at 3.5 ounces, not super heavy, but still big enough that it'll fill your hand and not be too small to hold on to, or you know, gets all